it's quite a nice trade outcome. It has all the characteristics of that classic trade setup. And if you look at last night's tweet for the Nasdaq, you'll see that the things that make you go is this one here. You'll see it for yourself. There it is. There, all the right there. And you'll see the price point that we're talking about there is 455 to 435. Well, there's 435 to 455. It's this banded area right there. Do you see that? It's that banded area right there. And what's happened, of course, is you can see that we've ran into it once, twice, 3 times into the area. Do you see that? 3 times. Well, that's the kind of thing that we have songs about, isn't it? And when you see that type of thing happening once, twice, 3 times into that area, and you start seeing other things happening, which is things like the big dot in the blue box, which is something we talked about actually this morning. I'll take another screenshot so we can add to that picture that evolved, as well as the Delta storyline. And again, this is one of those classic examples of tying an entire storyline together. And that's what the whole storyline is, things that make you go, Take a look. So at the same time as this box was happening, take a look at what was happening on the Nasdaq. You see how we start getting this a massive spike in activity? You see that spike in activity starting to show up in there as well. Enormous spikes in activity. And if we follow that activity up on our charts, you'll see what happens. Some magical stuff happens. Take a look at where that line ends up going, guys. Wait a second. And look at what we've got there. Looky here, guys. Some dealer key levels. And looky here, some Voltics. And what price? Wholesale price of 450. And if we look at that price of 450 in this screen here, all of a sudden you start recognizing that a price of 450 is now trading a price of 335. And all of a sudden you're looking at that and saying, wait a second, that's 115 points. That's $2,300 profit per contract since that shout. Now that's pretty good. Now, in addition to which, you'll probably also recognize in the background the Delta surge. And you'll see that the Delta line, if you look at the blue line in the background, you'll see that the Delta line in the background also starts to show up. There's the prior high on the Delta. And you can see that the Delta line is way above that, even though the price is at the same price point in the same area. In other words, the buyers are getting absorbed, and we're looking for that transition. Now, we didn't expect at that stage that the market would absolutely tank through the daily VWAP here, but you can see that the daily VWAP, the price then tanks through the VWAP, and we get a very, very swift kick in the chops here. And the price drops for $2,300 profit per contract on that swing, guys. That is sensational. Looks like Rennie is the only one on that one. That's nice. Well, that's a pity. Well, it's nice, and it's nice for Rennie, and it's a pity for everybody else, because that is absolutely beautiful. Well done, guys.